Hello, and welcome to the 240th edition of Beer Issues. My name is Matt Brucker, and I'm coming to you live here from Kauzen-Bräu Kauzel, where we're going to be having another outstanding beer from the Brewers Advent Calendar 2021, the German beers. So let's go ahead, let's talk about today's beer. Today's beer is the Kauzen-Bräu, the Kauzel, which is a German Pilsner style beer. So let's go ahead and get pouring on it and let's talk about it. First of all, the brewery's been around since 1809, so they've been making good beer for a long time. Now, I've had one of the other Kauzel beers. I think I had their Helles on one of the packs previously, but this year they did the German Pilsner. So I'm very excited because I do love a good German Pilsner. We're going to talk about Pilsners because there's a couple of different main types of Pilsners that you are very popular. First of all, some of the highest rated Pilsners in the world are the Czechoslovakian Pilsners, which are very similar to a German Pilsner. Usually the Czechoslovakian Pilsners, like Pilsner or Kel, are going to be a little bit more on the hoppy bite side. And the German ones do have the hops. They're just a little bit lighter hop with a little bit, typically a little bit of sweetness to it. Now, reading about this beer, it sounds like this was a little hoppier. So this might be brewed, and I didn't look exactly where it was on the map, but it might be brewed because they say as you get closer to Czechoslovakia, the beers change a little bit. So if you're like in more, southern Germany, you're going to get a much lighter Pilsner or less hoppy Pilsner. As you go further north, I guess, you get a little bit different. But anyway, I don't know. Most of the German ones I have tend to be a little bit lighter hop, and obviously the Czechoslovakian ones tend to be, but I think it could be either or, so it doesn't matter. So the beauty of this beer is it's a perfect golden color. You can see that. You have a great head that's retaining well, but as you can see, I don't know if you're able to see that, you're getting great lacing on that beer, which is always a good sign of beer. Now, this is another one of those beers that doesn't have enough ratings to really determine. I think that they said the average rating is like a 3.56, which makes it a very good beer, but it's like a couple of ratings. So we're gonna give our opinion after it's all said and done. Because I tend to believe that this is going to be better than a 3.5. Okay, just my guess based on reading a little bit about it. Because like one of the ratings I saw was like almost a 4 they gave it, which is excellent. And then the other person who might not be as astute at what a Pilsner should taste like, how they rated it. So let me go ahead and let's smell it. So in the smell, right off the bat, I'm getting like the malty sweetness. I do smell some hops, but I expected to smell a little bit stronger hop presence based on what I read, okay? I like both a German Pilsner and a Czechoslovakian Pilsner or Czech Pilsner. So I like both of them. So for me, however it comes out, I'm probably going to be happy. But it depends on my mood. If I'm not in the mood for something really hoppy, I probably appreciate the German one a little bit more because it's just a little bit sweeter, not quite as much of a bite from the hops. But if I'm in the mood for some hops, then that Czechoslovakian Pilsner is a nice treat. But anyway, let's go ahead, waste no time, and taste it. That is a most excellent Pilsner, okay? I would say it's definitely more, in my opinion, this is my opinion, of a German-style Pilsner. It does have the hops on the end, but at the same time, it's not like, doesn't have the bite. It has a kind of a lingering aftertaste of the hops, but you also get an aftertaste of the malty sweetness. So it kind of blends well together, if you will. Reading the reviews, somebody said it was extremely hoppy. Unless my taste buds have died to hops, this is not an extremely hoppy beer. It's actually got the right amount of hops for the beer. Actually, it could be a little bit higher in hops. But it is a really tasty beer. It is, I would give it higher than a 3.5. I'd probably put it maybe 3.75, 3.8, something like that, which is extremely good. So yeah, I think it's a very good beer, very well done. And if you're a Pilsner fan, you're gonna understand what I'm talking about, the difference between like a German Pilsner and the Czechoslovakian Pilsner. Pilsner Urquell, just so you know, is rated the #1 Pilsner in the world for, I don't know, 20 plus years. And that's a Czechoslovakian Pilsner. So obviously the Czechoslovakian Pilsners are very, very popular. But this one, I think they did an outstanding job. And I remember from having this last year that they did a really good job on the Helles. And if I remember right, the Helles was the same exact can, except for, I think it was blue. So I'm gonna have to look into that and see if I was right about that, because I got the blue one of these last year, and I'm almost certain it was a Helles, and it was very delicious also. So this brewery knows what they're doing, so I'm very excited. The beer clocks in at 4.8% alcohol by volume, so it's right in that perfect range for a good Pilsner. They're not too boozy. They range, 4 to 7%, it would probably be the high end. It's a great beer. So make sure you check it out. And as we've talked about this calendar, we're going to do a couple more out of here. There's one I just can't wait to have, which is the Weizenbach. It is phenomenal. It's actually every year for the last 4 years or whatever I've been drinking this, that has been my favorite one each and every year. So I'm not sure if it will be this year, but so far I'm really looking forward to it, and I gotta see if it's as good as I remember. But that beer is in a class all by itself, in my opinion, so I can't wait to have it. But all the beers are delicious in this pack. So if you enjoy this, make sure you tell your friends about Beer Issues and how much fun we're having talking about great beer and drinking great beer. And if they want any cool Beer Issues gear for Christmas, the holidays coming up, go to shop.beerissues.com and you can get some of the finest t-shirts, phone cases, you name it, at shop.beerissues.com. And as my wife likes to say, I have beer issues.